Hello, welcome back to Chaotic Crafting. I'm going to do a little bit of a technique that I've been seeing online quite a bit of doing your own sort of washi tape. All you need is packaging tape and a magazine or a book. I'm going to be doing a little bit of both, but you just kind of flip through your magazine and see what images you want. I'm going to use this little strip of models. Let me see if I can lower my light a little bit. Maybe off is better. I don't know. Okay. I'm going to get this started. The only tip that I have for this is, keep one edge that you can grab, and you're going to make sure the rest of it's burnished down really well. You can burnish it with your fingers. I have like a little Mod Podge, no, Jelly Arts, my bad, Jelly Arts texture for the jelly plate. Not a big deal. So you get it down really good, and then you're gonna rip it off. All right, you ready? Here we go. All right, so now I have same exact magazine. Didn't quite tear through, as you can see. It left like a little bit of film. And then I didn't show you earlier, but I do have like a little tub of water off to the side here. I'm gonna take that tape roll that I just created and stick that in the water and let it sit while I look for my next image. Kind of cool. I like the watch. Let's do the watch. So, picked up that watch image. It's just that top layer. I'm gonna stick it in the water and keep looking. I like all these books. Let's see how that turns out. I don't want to ruin it. I want to be able to use this one several times, so I'm just going to do this corner up here. Again, you don't have to be real precious with it. It's okay if there's bubbles or creases in it, because this is just you picking up a piece of that image. Look how cool. That'd be fun. And then sticking it in that water so it can soak for a second. Up and down or side to side, but I decided to get that portion. I guess I could put you. I wonder how much of her I can get. Should be fun. I know I'm not gonna get all of her, but if I could get most of her, that'd be kind of a cool image to play with later. I'm gonna try to get the top of her head. The very top sometimes doesn't pull up as easy, so just be careful where you're placing it. But again, this is just silly stuff that I'm gonna use in a silly journal that nobody really cares about. So if I mess it up, I mess it up. Oh, she's cute. Into the water she goes, and we will finish those out in a little bit. I'm gonna look for one more. I love her. I'm saving her for something. I don't know what yet, but I think she's beautiful. Let's see if I can find one more good set of eyes to use. This is a good set of eyes. This is sort of something I like to do in my art. All right, let's see if she'll rip off for me. Yay! And she did. Ah, love it. All right. So I'm gonna get the one that I put in first. The strip of people, remember? Like it looks like a little movie set. And then you're gonna turn it around and you're just gonna roll. I'm gonna go a little closer on this maybe. So you can see where it's sort of fuzzy, because that's a little bit of that cotton from the paper left over. And I'm just gonna use my finger and just get as much of that rolled off as I can. This is actually kind of fun to do. If you're the person who in elementary school would put the Elmer's glue on your hand just to peel it off, yeah, this is kind of fun like that. So we're gonna peel it off. We're getting that last little layer of that backing off. It's messy, don't get me wrong. You know, I like a good mess. I love using my fingers to paint and to do artwork, and I love this kind of, I don't know, textury, using my hands kind of thing. The only other thing I'm going to do is sort of rub it down on the paper towel to make sure it's nice and dry. And there shouldn't be a lot of stickiness left because we have soaked it in water, first of all, and then we've ripped that picture off. So then the next thing I'm gonna do, oh, let me grab my scissors right quick, kind of all the way through of how I would use this. I always talk about if I've got a good experience with a customer, a house of books, they sort of get these vintage journals. Let me back out. This vintage journal, and I bought this from them, and it's yummy. It is truly from the 1900s. It's a grocery store list. I've used some of these image transfers already in here. Look at that, how cute. That's one of the ones I did with the eyes. Of course, the black and white picture was amazing. I love that. So this is how it looks. You know, it's just a vintage, been used sort of journal. And then I will put my strip down. And really and truly, if you want to use gel medium, you can. But because this is just as easy, I'm just going to grab a glue stick. And like I said, this tape is no longer sticky. So I like to put the glue stick on the journal and on the thing I'm going to glue down. And then there you go. And if you don't like the shininess of it, you can always go back with like a clear gesso. That will kind of dull it down a little bit. But then you can see the vintage type through the picture because we took that backing off. You can see that blue stripe that runs down. So it's kind of like you made a little bit of a transparency, sort of washi tapey. I'm gonna go ahead and use this one too, why not? Even though he didn't fully transfer. I'm gonna put him right here. And you can see really well there that writing comes right through his shirt. You see that? You can see the writing through his shirt. How cool is that? All right, then I'm gonna set this aside, and I'm gonna get another piece out of here. I guess I'll do the watch now. Again, I'm gonna go in a little bit closer so you can see this. This is just me rubbing that. Oh, look at that. How satisfying is that? That came off in a big old chunk. Oh, that was easy. I'm gonna dry it up. You could fussy cut this at this point if you'd like to fussy cut the watch. I'm not gonna do that because I'm not a fussy cutter fan. But look how cool. Just, you know, now I've got, let me back out, sorry. Now I've got like a cool little watch in the middle of my glare. All right, so that didn't help at all. Made it darker, but didn't help with the glare. Let me see if this light, turning this light on helps. I don't know. Anyway, so this one did have a little more sticky in it because it wasn't as full. But I'm still just gonna use my glue stick. Both sides. And now I have a cool little watch in the middle of this vintage page, ready for me to do some kind of something about, maybe about time, but see how you can see the writing through that tape. It's very cool. Very different than just cutting it out of a magazine and putting it down, because now instead of having that paper backing it, I have a see-through sort of washy transparency looking sticker of a watch that I can still see that gorgeous yummy handwriting through that. So I'm just gonna do the next few ones. Let's do this eye one. I like the eyes, where I'm just rubbing off the backing and making it like a transparent piece. Kind of fun. Yay. Fun thing to do on a Saturday night when you're bored by yourself. Yeah. I don't know what it is about eyes and lips, but I'm a sucker for them. Try to dry it off really good. And then I'm gonna bring this back over and find a good spot for her. And with this kind of starter, I may wind up, look at that, look how good that looks. It's all scratchety on the edges. That's kind of cool too. Matter of fact, when it's not perfect, it's still just as cool. Let me scoot back out a little bit. So I'm gonna put her down. And what I'll do later with her is I'll go back and try to draw her out. I'll match her up with some paint and draw this face on out, because that's a really good start for a really good face. And I'm not great with eyes, so why not cheat a little when you're doing faces and use some eyes that are realistic, because this is from a true picture, a photograph of someone in a magazine. So I know the proportions and everything on this is right, or at least it was right for this girl. Oh, look at it, right in her eyeball. She's got some writing behind it. I just love it. You may not love it, and that's okay, but how fun is that? All right, that's a quickie video, something that you to do when you're bored. Real easy to go through. Here's one where I did some type. I'll do that right quick. I'll do one more before I let you go. I'll do one out of an old book, because I do like that too. I'm a sucker for some script. This is an old book that I got, was about to be thrown away at a library. And I just pull some pieces out of it every now and then for whatever reason to collage with or whatever. So same thing, I'm gonna get right in the middle of these words, varnish it down really good. And then rip it up. Ooh, that's cool. This one, I'm not even gonna have to really get rid of that backing very much. But that book's so old, I didn't really even pull it off good. Let's see if I can use one of these other old books. If it'll come off of this one better. Oh yeah, I did. I was using some of this map. Let's see if I can get some of this map. This is an old book as well. Let's just see if I can get like a piece of this map. Oh, I didn't mean to let go of that. A piece of this map. Y'all, do you not love that? So freaking cool. Let me get some of this text, and then, as promised, I'll leave you alone. The older these books are, you really don't have to varnish that much because they're so fragile anyway. That is just, look, it just lifts right up. How cool is that? So I'm gonna set that in my water. And then I'm gonna go back and show you the journal. Little film, old-fashioned film. I love that vintagey feel and vibe. Let's see what else is in here. We just did her. I just did my watch. Here's one. I did this from the magazine as well. Just picked out, it said triple threat, and I kind of liked that. So I just put that down. What we've got going on. Quick flip through. That's not that technique. There's the technique. There's that technique. Again, House of Books, look them up. They're incredible. It's a couple of girls who own a bookstore, and they salvage books from people who are getting rid of them. Libraries that are about to toss them out, and why let them get tossed out when we can repurpose them and they can live another whole life in your library as a junk journal or an art journal, whatever you want to call it. Oh, I hope you liked it, of a technique that's kind of cool, kind of different, and it's just easy and fun to do. If you're not in the mood of like pulling out your paints and really having a paint night from scratch, then that's always kind of a fun alternative. I'm gonna just continue to rub all this backing off of these, and I'll see you next time on Chaotic Crafting. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.